Why did it take so long to get like this new series off the ground? Because for like 10 years they were talking about doing new Voltron. It was third dimension.
Ask me that question first. No, I mean, a lot of things have to happen to get a series off the ground. Number one, you need a broadcast partner. We found that with Nicktoons, and Keith Dawkins, who's the president, a huge Voltron fan. And they've been behind us 110%. I think also from a creative standpoint, it was like, okay, how are we going to reintroduce the show? In 1998, we did Voltron Third Dimension, which was all CGI, and we wanted to keep our show forward thinking. And the idea there was it was actually the first all CGI show produced completely in the United States. So it was really ahead of its time, and Voltron's sort of always been ahead of its time. With the first show was actually one of the first shows ever done in stereophonic sound. So we always wanted to keep ahead of the curve, and so with this newest show with Voltron Force, we decided to take the best from both worlds and have traditional born 2D hand-drawn human beings with the awesome mecha lions that you can do with CGI. You can have this fluid cat-like movement. You can move the camera around and have these dynamic action scenes. And there's some really cool stuff we're able to do in the new show. And particularly the 13 episodes that haven't aired yet have some just really, really great action scenes. You'll see a peek of them in the panel. But we've been excited about what we've been able to do with the new show. And, being able to take the best of 2D and CGI.
Why do you think, when people talk about, anime, a lot of times they ignore Voltron, like some of these magazines, they talk about Robotech or Star Blazers. What about Voltron? They did bigger than both of them.
Yeah. So, no, Voltron just kind of, it's a unique property in that it's anime is its home, that's what it came from, right? But I think it's crossed so many genres to where it's considered, people compare it with Robotech and those shows, but it also gets compared to He-Man and Transformers and those more Western-looking shows, because I think it crossed so many genres when it aired. I think when you think typical anime, it's really good stuff, but it tends to be kind of a focused niche market. It's crossed over several different markets, so it's anime, it's young, it's fun, for some reason it gets put in a little bit different of a category, doesn't it? I don't know if I can fully explain that, but it's just how it's been.
In the 80s, it was one of the first shows that aired over here that really had an overarching storyline rather than just reset everything episode to episode.
Yeah, right. It was kind of one of the first. And, it's funny being over at my company founded MIP, I guess it was called MIP TV, but over in France, programming convention, and it was an anime show, which tends to be kind of hardcore, because in Japan these shows aren't for a kid's audience, right? It's mostly for adults, so it's violent. There were adult themes in there, and there were beheadings and that sort of thing. So when our company took the show and brought it to the U.S., the plan was for pretty simple. All right, let's get some English-speaking actors and let's redo the voices and then we'll put it on the air. It turned out to be a much more involved process than that. I mean, it involved editing storylines and removing a lot of that really ugly, hardcore violence and inventing the concept of a robeast. In the Japanese series, obviously these were organic figures. These are organic people basically that were been turned into these monsters by Witch Hagar. And of course, in the U.S. they were robots. So hence the invention of the robeast. we hired John Peterson to do the music. We did just that awesome, iconic Voltron score, which we still use to this day. And we did the stereo, like I mentioned, and it turned out to be a great result. And put it on the air, and the rest is history.
Okay. Since I'm going to go into history, I'm wondering, since you are probably the greatest source, it's been known that you got Lion Voltron by mistake. You originally wanted Daltanius and Albegus. Did you guys ever prepare? Did you ever do a dubbing of Daltanius or Albegus as a potential?
We acquired the rights to those shows, and then we actually, the first show that we did was Die Rugby, which is known in the U.S. as Vehicle Voltron, which is 15 different vehicles that come together, like a land team, a sea team, and an air team. So we redid those shows. In most markets, that actually aired before Lion Force. Yeah, but it's if you go back and watch it, it's pretty hardcore sci-fi, and there's a lot of characters. There's like 15 main characters, so it didn't really catch on. And then we started airing the Lion Force episodes, and they just caught fire. And so rather than dubbing Daltanius and Albegus, we ended up making 26 more original Lion Force episodes. Because that's what kids wanted to see. And once they saw the Lion Force, they didn't want to see Vehicle Force. And so we figured let's get more Lion stuff out there rather than dub and redo Albegus and Daltanius.
Were there ever any plans to make more episodes in the original run?
We did. I think I said 26. We actually did 20. We had 72 Lion Force episodes. Why they didn't do more? You said I'm the greatest source, but my father would actually be a better source for me. And I never got into the bottom of that question because, you'd think that a whole bunch more would be created. But I think by the time, there was heavy competition at the time, obviously. Transformers came along right around the same time or right after. And so, I think the show sort of started to run its course, and in retrospect, it would have been nice to get some more episodes out there. But we're finally making them now. So.
Has Voltron Force been picked up for a second season, or when will that?
We're in discussion about a second season, so we hope to make some announcements.
Is there any connection? This is kind of a fanboy question. Is there any connection between the Voltron movie that was just recently optioned a couple of months ago, and the series? Are they going to try to tie that in? I don't know about tie-ins, but are they going to try to connect it at all?
They might, but it's the idea is that it's going to be based on the 1984 series. So probably not, but. Who knows? Maybe they can have it. They can if they want to.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but